my honor to present to you Senator Chantal Petitclerc, the most successful wheelchair racer of all time and a role model for athletes around the world. At the age of 13, Senator Petitclerc lost the use of her legs following an accident. 4 years later, she would discover wheelchair athletics, paving the way for a long and highly successful career. Senator Petitclerc is the only Canadian athlete to have won medals at the Olympic, Paralympic, and Commonwealth Games. She won her first Canadian championship in 1989. To this day, she is the Canadian record holder of the 100, 200, 400, and 800 meter events. In July 2002, at the Commonwealth Games, in Manchester, England, she won the gold medal in the 800 meter, the first wheelchair event to be fully integrated into a program of major international competition. In winning this gold medal, Senator Petitclerc became the first athlete in the history of adaptive sports to register a result for her country's team at a non-Paralympic event. Senator Petitclerc exemplifies the best lessons that sport and life can teach us, because she understands, practices, and communicates these lessons in her personal, athletic, and public life. Her actions truly inspire us. An athlete, public speaker, and columnist for Chantal magazine, Senator Petitclerc is also the book author of 16 Days in Beijing, which tells the story of her last Paralympic experience. Senator Petitclerc regularly takes part in various Paralympic athletes and sports organizations projects. She is an athlete ambassador for Right to Play, an international humanitarian organization that uses sport programs to make an impact to improve health, develop life skills, and foster peace in children and communities in some of the most disadvantaged areas of the world. She is also a sport spokesperson for Défi Montréal, an international event. It brings together athletes from the elite to newcomers with all types of disabilities. Senator Petitclerc was awarded the Lou Marsh Trophy for Athlete of the Year in 2008 and was appointed the Order of Canada in 2009. Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of Senate and the Board of Governors, it is my privilege and honor to present to you Senator Chantal Petitclerc so that you may confer upon her the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
I would like to now ask Senator Petitclerc for her remarks.
Merci beaucoup. Monsieur le chancelier, monsieur le recteur, invité d'honneur, diplômés, amis et famille, c'est un grand plaisir, un privilège, bien sûr un honneur d'être ici aujourd'hui pour accepter ce doctorat honorifique. Et pour avoir l'opportunité de vous parler et de partager un petit peu de mon aventure et de mon parcours de vie avec vous. And while doing that, I do realize, of course, that our path, our expertise are very different. I know I am not an expert in everything that you have studied, and I assume most of you cannot do a wheelchair 100 meter in under 16 seconds. But But in spite of those differences, if there is one thing I have learned in over 25 years of high performance, it is that in the end, it does not matter who we are, where we come from, and what we're trying to do and achieve with the time, the talent, the potential that we have. One thing I do know for sure is that we all will have to face many challenges just to get to where we want to go. And I believe that how we choose to face those challenges is really what makes a difference in the success that we will have. And to me, as you may guess, this amazing Paralympic adventure, before the medals and before the recognition, did start with one big challenge, and that, of course, has to be the challenge of my accident. I come from a very small town, Saint-Marc-des-Carrières. This is where, at the age of 13, as we were visiting some friends of the family who had a farm, the farm was abandoned, disaffected, and so as soon as we got there, the message from the parents was quite clear. We, the children, were not allowed to go play on the farm because it was dangerous. So being 13, the very first thing we did was to go play on the farm because it was dangerous, which was not the smartest idea, but we had this plan, and the barn door was broken. We wanted to lift it up, put a bit of a crate underneath it, and transform it into some sort of a jumping ramp for a bicycle, which we did. And myself, at the age of 13, holding the door, and with not as much muscles as I did when I was in Beijing for the games, I could not hold that door very long, and the door fell on me, broke my spine, and that's how I became paraplegic at the age of 13. And the reason I'm telling you that is, of course, I knew from that moment that even if I was very young and being underground and unable to move my legs and unable to get up, I knew that my life would never be the same again, and I knew that I would need to adapt to that situation very, very quickly. And I guess what I learned from that experience that I want to share with you, because it was a lesson that stayed with me as an athlete, of course, but also as a person, is what I recall from that accident and the months after was everything being thrown into chaos, you know, because an accident like this one, you don't choose for it to happen, you don't want it to happen, you don't see it coming, but when it's there, and you have to face it and deal with it. And I guess what I took from this is that in a situation when you lose control over everything, the only control you have left is always the control over your own emotions, but most importantly, attitude. And I learned very quickly from that no matter what happens to you, your life does not stop. It changes direction sometimes, but you always have more potential than limits. And it is with this mindset that I started this amazing adventure that would take me to 5 Paralympic Games. And when I came back from Beijing in 2008 and retired, I remember coming back from Beijing with 5 gold medals. And I remember especially the 100 meter was such a difficult race to win and such an amazing, important moment for me. And back home with my 5 medals, all I could tell everybody is how at the same time Beijing was the most magic, amazing games of my life, but also the toughest thing I ever had to do, which really is often the case, you know, the experiences, and even today is probably, you can say the same, you know, the most amazing experiences and valuable experiences are also not that easy, and they are difficult, but the rewards are so worth it. And I coming back from Beijing, sometimes I go to schools, and when I go to the school with the little kids, I take with me my 5 medals. At the beginning, I took the one of the 100, but then I took the 5 medals because very quickly I realized that, especially with the kids, it's a very simple equation. The more medal you bring, the happier they are. And you know, they jump up and down, and they're so excited, and they're like, oh, you got 5, you're so lucky, you're so lucky, you're so lucky. And you just want to sit with them and tell them that, like anything else, luck does not have much to do with it, and that it does not take 16 seconds to win a medal or to do anything. It took me 25 years. And that they may present you with the medal or the diploma in a crowd full of people, but we all know that you don't win a medal or a diploma in front of a crowd cheering for you. You win it a cloudy, rainy Monday morning in Montreal when you have 3 training sessions and you don't want to go, you don't feel like doing it. But not only you go, but you go and you do it well, and you do it right, and you do it again the next day, and the next day, and the next day, because really it is the only way to make anything happen. And I guess what I want to leave you with is that when I look at my journey, and when I think back about the little girl that I was in small town Saint-Marc-des-Carrières, being 13, a very modest family. You know, my mother stayed at home. My dad was a construction worker. I don't think that anybody or not a lot of people could have envisioned that I would have such an amazing and fun journey. And I say sometimes en français, je veux dire, il n'y a pas grand monde qui aurait gagé un 20 sur moi. And to me, it really is the proof that, again, it does not matter who you are, where you come from, and what you're trying to accomplish and achieve. I believe that there is no such thing as too small or too big a dream. I believe that we all have what it takes inside of us and around us, the people around us, the resources that we can reach out for. We all have what it takes to make it happen when and if we choose to make it happen. And I believe that if this was true for myself, well, certainly it is true for all of you. So this is my wish for you. And in ending, I just want to tell you, dare to be fearless. Don't let anybody tell you that your dream is too big, too crazy, too ambitious, because surely they are wrong. And make sure that you keep passion in your life, because this is what is going to fuel everything. And make sure that while achieving those big goals and dreams, while putting all the work that it will take to make it happen, make sure you never forget to have some fun. This is the part that we don't say enough in the speeches, but it is so important that no matter how serious your goals are, you need to enjoy it. So this is my wish for you, is enjoy the day, but most importantly, enjoy the journey ahead. Alors bravo à tous et merci, merci beaucoup. Merci.
Senator Petitclerc, je vous remercie infiniment pour vos remarques. You are truly an inspiration, and the anecdote, dream it and do it, speaks loudly to what you've said. I thank you for your humility, your leadership, and your dedication to our country. Merci mille fois.